Welcome to the Regional Science Bowl. This fast-paced, quiz-style tournament tests the math and science knowledge and skills of students in our region as they compete for a spot at the National Science Bowl. In each round, 2 teams play head-to-head for 2 8-minute halves. Each round lasts a total of 18 minutes, including a 2-minute break between halves. 4 students play on each team, with 1 designated as the team captain. A team may have 1 substitute player who can replace any of the 4 starters who played during the first half. As science judge, it's your job to know the rules and assist the moderator by ensuring that no mistakes are made, especially in the reading of the questions, and play is conducted fairly. Before the start of each round, you should verbally verify that the correct teams are in the competition room and that they are sitting in the correct seats. As each round begins, you should make sure the moderator is reading questions from the correct round. There are 2 types of questions: toss-up questions and bonus questions. Toss-up questions are open to both teams. Players have 5 seconds to buzz in to respond. When a team correctly answers a toss-up question, that team earns the opportunity to answer a bonus question. Here's an example.
What is the name of the heat energy trapped in the Earth's interior? I'm looking. A1.
Geothermal energy?
Correct. Bonus for Team A.
The team captain has 20 seconds to answer each bonus question. As each round proceeds, you should make sure that the moderator is reading toss-up and bonus questions when appropriate. For instance, when a toss-up question is answered incorrectly, you should make sure the moderator skips over the bonus question and moves on to the next toss-up question. Here's some game footage showing an incorrectly answered toss-up question.
Toss-up question 4, physical science, multiple choice. Which factor does not influence the speed needed to put a satellite into orbit? W, mass of the satellite, X, radius of the orbit, Y, shape of the orbit, Z, mass of the planet. B1.
Y.
Incorrect. Offer A. A1. Incorrect. Correct answer, W, mass of the satellite. Toss-up question 5. Earth and space, multiple choice.
As each question is read aloud, you should follow along to make sure that the questions are being read correctly. If, for instance, a word is skipped or mispronounced, you should politely interrupt to correct the moderator. When a team buzzes in to answer a toss-up question, it's your job to verbally recognize the student who should answer the question by announcing the team letter and player position. For instance, you might say, Team A, Player 2, or Team B, Captain. Here's an example.
Team A, Captain?
X.
No, it's not correct. Team B. 5 seconds.
Players are not supposed to answer until they have been recognized, and only the recognized player is allowed to respond, with one exception. If, at some point, you mistakenly recognize the wrong player, the player who buzzed in may still answer. You do not need to recognize anyone for bonus questions, as only the team captain may answer, and buzzing in is not required. Here's an example.
Team A, Player 1.
-5. That is correct. Your bonus question.
Sometimes the moderator will choose to recognize players instead, as part of his or her role. Talk to the moderator before the game begins to determine who will be responsible for this task, and make sure it's clearly understood by all officials before the round begins. After a player has buzzed in and has been recognized, it may be your job to reset the buzzers to give all players a fair chance to buzz in for the next toss-up question. Different regions have different methods of resetting the buzzers. For instance, in regions that use a computerized timekeeping system, the timekeeper resets the buzzers. In other cases, the moderator may choose to reset the buzzers. Here's an example of a computerized buzzer system being reset. Be sure to discuss who is responsible for this task with the other officials before the game begins, and make sure it's clearly understood by everyone. Finally, it's your job to ask the timekeeper to stop the game clock during challenges. A challenge occurs when one of the 4 competing team members questions scientific content only. Players cannot challenge judgment calls by officials. Each team is limited to 2 unsuccessful challenges per round. If no rules judge is assigned to your competition room, the moderator and/or science judge also assumes those responsibilities. Before the game begins, you should make sure that the team coaches introduce themselves and sit together toward the back of the room, as shown here.
Could the coaches introduce themselves?
Stephanie Brennan.
Megan Emmett.
Thank you. And the coaches?
Deborah Chris.
Okay, Deborah Chris. Okay, so what I would like to have is the rules ask the judges sit side by side with each other, so maybe we could rearrange just a little bit.
The coaches?
Sorry,
all the coaches to sit together.
Yeah.
During each round, you should watch to ensure that no one, including coaches and family members, tries to signal or communicate with the players. Active players are permitted to use the provided scratch paper during the game only. And coaches may record the progress of the game on their officially designated record-keeping sheets. Otherwise, no one in the room is allowed to write or record anything in any way. Check for use of electronic devices, which is strictly prohibited, even for spectators. During each round, pay attention to make sure the timekeeper starts and stops the game clock as appropriate. The game clock should be stopped during any discussions with officials, either by students or other game officials, and during challenges. Lastly, at the end of each half, you should collect all scratch paper used by the players. Science Judge is an important role that is ideal for someone with a background in science or math who is good at multitasking. It's also a fun way to use your skills and expertise to encourage the next generation of STEM professionals. Thanks for volunteering, and we look forward to seeing you at the Regional Science Bowl.